Hello everybody, this is Ray Lynn, bringing you something a little bit different today. While my channel is going to focus mainly on Armored Warfare, I'm not going to overlook other games and other genres that I'm definitely interested in, and one of those genres is the RPG, or more specifically, Blade and Soul, which is what you're seeing right now in the trailer for most of the action parts that I wanted to show you. It's actually being released by NCSoft, and it in fact is coming out on January 19th to Europe and North America. So if you are interested in playing this and getting your hands on this game, you only have to wait till the 19th. You can buy a Founders Pack, and there are 3 levels of Founders Pack, ranging from something that's $30 all the way up to $130 based on the items that you want to get once the game goes live. You also get some head start in there, and so if you're interested in that, you might want to go to the website, Blade and Soul, and see about picking up a Founder Pack. Blade and Soul has actually been around for a while in Korea. It's been out for over 4.5 years, so it obviously has taken a little bit of time to get to the West, mainly because they couldn't find anyone that really wanted to bring it out. NCSoft picked it up a few years ago, but because of their work on Guild Wars 2 and WildStar, it looks like they were definitely delayed in the department of bringing it out in the West. But after Guild Wars 2 has released its Heart of Thorns expansion and they got WildStar out and about, I figure they've just decided now's the time to do it. And you can see kind of what the whole combat system here is actually very unique just to Blade and Soul. It actually relies on a combat system with very few actual buttons required, because the moves will actually change based on whether or not you're in the middle of a combo of certain moves that string together, or you've knocked somebody down, or you're at a certain distance from them, or they've counterattacked you, or you've counterattacked them. It's all very dynamic, and it's constantly changing, and that's where a lot of the skill comes in, is that you need to have some very good reaction times for some of these classes, especially in PvP. There is a PvE content in Blade and Soul, but unfortunately it is kind of like your standard cookie cutter PvE content MMO. You basically go to a quest hub, pick up a bunch of quests, and go turn in XYZ number of rocks, or pick up or kill XYZ number of NPCs, and then return to the quest hub, turn in those quests, and then move on with your life to the next quest hub and repeat. But the combat is so good that really most of the quests go so quickly. You're not killing 15 boars like in World of Warcraft. You're actually generally only killing 1 or 2 things, or picking up 1 or 2 pieces of something out in the world. So each quest really doesn't take that long, and it's just the combat is so fun. You really don't even notice that you just spent like 4 hours questing. At least for me, it's very exciting. A class like this is the Destroyer, who have a lot of grappling moves, and as you can see, I can pick up this boss creature and sit on him and throw him up in the air and just spin all the way to the ground with a giant pile driver. This is just one of the things that makes Blade and Soul so unique. A lot of MMOs don't do this kind of gameplay. They're very much just stand there and hack and slash, move out of the red stuff on the ground, and that's pretty much it. Very few actually take fights to the ground or to the air, which Blade and Soul does all of the time, and in fact is one of the main reasons why the PvP is so good. The PvP in Blade and Soul is number 3 in Korea of all other MMOs and RPGs that are out in Korea, of which there are hundreds. It's still considered to be the pinnacle of PvP games when it comes to MMORPGs. The PvP is one of the main draws of Blade and Soul. It's very well defined, and it plays very much like a fighting game, like say Street Fighter 4 or Mortal Kombat or a King of Fighters type of game. Pretty much any kind of fighting game you can think of where it's one-on-one. It's reflected very well in Blade and Soul. It's not just that you have to worry about just going up and using stealth, or going up to somebody and beating them down on the ground. You can feint and you can fake them into using certain moves that will leave them vulnerable for some of your other moves. The big draw on this is that you have a lot of combos and a lot of moves that once you get somebody onto the ground or in the air, you can do a lot of damage. But they also have counters and counter breakers to all of the moves that you can do. And your goal is to make them think you're going to do one thing, jukes them, do something else. Now their breaker is on cooldown, and then you can unleash a lot of burst damage on them. Some of these classes are very good at setting you up to get killed and you have to really play very tactful. The PvE, even though it is standard leveling quest hub, the end game actually has a lot of raids and instances you can do. So if you are a PvEer, there are still plenty of things to do. You just have to keep in mind that Blade and Soul is first and foremost a PvP in-game MMO. But that aside, you can see just from watching this game just how fun the actual combat is. I have a lot of fun with this class. It's my most favorite class, at least in the early game. As you can see, I just go in there and just balls to the wall, just destroy the living crap out of everything. If I get low on health, I actually have grapples that I can pick up a monster and heal myself by beating them with my axe upside the head. So it's very unique, and all the classes have ways to restore their health. There is no holy trinity in Blade and Soul. So if you're looking for the standard tank, healer, DPS, MMO, this is not the one for you. Every class is kind of self-sufficient. Every class can sort of do similar things. Some are obviously more DPS than tank, but even this class, for example, I could use it as a pseudo tank, pseudo DPS, and pseudo healer, because in this game it's similar to Guild Wars 2. Then if you get yourself into trouble and you die, you actually don't die immediately. You go down onto the ground, you can crawl away from where the action is happening, meditate for 30 seconds, and pop back up onto your feet. In that time, I could take this class. If one of my allies was to drop onto the ground like that, I can actually go over and lift them up and carry them as far away as I need to, and then heal them while carrying them, or set them down inside some cover where they can heal themselves and get back into the action. So it's a very unique class and a very unique class mechanic. And all of the other classes, from the Blade Master to the Assassin, also have many of these mechanics along with it. Overall, I think Blade and Soul is going to be a fantastic MMO, and it's free to play. It does have a cash shop, but the cash shop only has items in it that are mainly customization, like makeup and costumes. You can see one of the costumes I'm wearing right now. You actually get early on in the game from a boss. If you fight them enough, you can win this costume from a little mini boss. That's part of a quest. And everyone's usually around to help when you're doing this stuff. So the questing is very, very easy. And even if you're doing the instances, it's very easy to find a group, because there's an automatic group finder. And since you don't have to wait on a particular class to form the group, you're going to go right in. So overall, I think Blade and Soul is very good. It's free to play, like I said, so there's no reason that everybody shouldn't at least give it a shot, especially if they're just in the mood to play something different, play something new, as the combat system is the biggest strength of Blade and Soul. Yes, you can run on water. You dash, you air dash, you can run on water while dashing. It's just overall just all these little touches. I don't point it out here, but there are actually little birds that fly around here and sit up on those buildings, and they're actually fully modeled birds. They have feathers and wings and beaks and eyes, and they watch you and they follow you. The detail is still, to this day, very incredible. This is one of the parts I had to show you, because the dragon stream here is one of the coolest aspects of Blade and Soul, and getting around. There's so much kung fu B-movie stuff going on here that it's just awesome when you look at it like this. As you can see, the world just still amazing looking graphics. Now, of course, this isn't more of an anime styled MMORPG, and the artist that did all the artwork for this has a thing for hips and thighs, so he's a hip and thigh man. So if that bothers you, you can still make your characters, you know, as old looking or as young looking as you want. There's a lot of options. The character customization in this game is very, very good. It's very complicated, and so you may end up spending hours upon hours just starting your character. And that's kind of all I've got for you here. This is just a little preview to let you guys know that the game is coming out on January 19th for Europe and North America. It is free to play, and it is going to be a very, very good MMORPG. Whether you like PvE or PvP, there's something here for everyone. The PvP obviously is going to be the main draw of the game, because the gameplay is extremely good and extremely well made for it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press that like button down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, there'll be a pop-up on the bottom of your screen in just a few seconds, and you can click that and get the subscription going. That'll keep you up to date every time I upload a video, whether it's on Armored Warfare or Blade and Soul or any other game that piques my interest and I think should be interesting for all of you. If you want, you can leave a comment down below and let me know how I'm doing, and I'll take your suggestions. I'll try to reply if you have a question. And that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.